Hi guys, it's Christy. I just thought I'd pop in for a second. Thought I had a drink. I don't have a drink. um, I've been working on some new journals, and I thought I would just do kind of a little craft with me. Um, I'm going to be working on some belly bands, and I did a search on YouTube and found some really interesting um, belly bands, but I'm going to start off with the basic belly band. This I'm making two journals with this kit. This is oh my gosh, I'm totally blank. Elsie Bell's bookshelf, and it's called Nature's Music. That's what it is. I remembered. Yay. And I have two more that I'm working on that are from hers, but it's the really pretty. It's Rosy Elegance is the name of this. But I wanted to do kind of a series of junk journal, what I think are inclusions that I always include. And the first one that I always include after I've put my signatures together is and start to embellish, because all I've done here is I've added some doilies, some scrapbook paper, some coffee dyed paper. I've added some music paper, and I did sew on some of the pages, and this is my center page. So what I usually do is go through and tuck in some things that I want to work on, and the first thing I do is the belly bands. So today I'm just going to do a really basic belly band. These are cutoffs from the kit, and since I'm doing two, I want to go ahead and double that. All I'm going to do with these, you could use them just the way they are, and they would be fine, but I want to add a little bit of lace. So the first thing I need to do is trim them down so that they'll fit on the page. And I want to measure this here. The page should be 5.5. Yeah, the page is 8.5 by 5.5. So I want to have this be 8.5. So I'm just gonna whack it off here, just a tad shorter. Doesn't have to be perfect, and I can always trim it later. This will be used for something. And then what I'm going to do to these is add a little lace behind it, and then I will glue them in and probably sew over them. I like to have them sewn in. They're a little bit sturdier. This one, actually, this is going to go on coffee dyed paper, so just going to clip that, and I'll make this one the same size. Sorry if I'm off camera. Alright, so those will be used in a cluster of some sort. So the lace that I'm using is something I bought in bulk a long time ago. Actually, I think I'll use this because there's more of it. But it's not quite big enough to layer behind this. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna trim it down first. And then what I'll do is cut it down the middle and glue it on the edges. Do the same thing with the larger piece. And I'll put this on the back side. You could put it on the front, but I'm thinking because I coffee dyed it, you can kind of see through it, but not enough. So I will be putting it on the back side. And it doesn't have a problem usually with items getting stuck to it or anything. It is, I think it's nylon, but I've not had any issues with it. So I think I ordered this on Amazon, and it was like 30 yards of miscellaneous lace. But the nylon does not coffee dye as well as the cotton. So I'm going to go ahead and just ink this a little bit. I'm using the Cocoa by Close to My Heart, because that's what I have. My sister-in-law bought me a whole set of inks for my birthday one year because she's so generous. So yeah, just a little bit. Now, if I was putting the lace on the top here, I would not ink it because these are dye-based inks and they will smear and run, etc. So I only am doing this on the top. And it turns out really funky. Like all the colors that are involved in the making of that color ink come out, so you'll get like a funky green, or sometimes when I'm using this color, my nails, they'll stain pink. So, which is weird because it looks like it has a green base. It's making a lot of pillies. I probably need a new sponge, and I saw my Dollar Tree had a bunch of these the other day. I should have picked some up, but I think I have some. Anyway, let me get this off. Moving everything around. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this down the middle, and it won't unravel or anything. It stays together pretty good. So I use the Clear Gel Tacky Glue. I find it it's hard to open. That's the hardest thing. But I find that it dries a little bit, tiny bit faster than the regular tacky, but it's not as expensive as like the Beacon. So I will just put that on there. And I do have to hold it for just a second so it can make proper contact. I forgot I put glue on the other side and I stuck my finger right in it. I lost my train of thought. I had something in there. Okay, so see, that just dresses that up a little bit, and it gives you a little time to adjust. If you know, sometimes I don't get it on straight. I think I'm looking at the back and I think, oh, that's perfect. Not turn it over and everything's crooked. And anyway, so I was thinking if I just went through some basics on these two journals that I'm working on, and then when I get to the Rosy Elegance, I will try some different techniques. What I like to do, and I do go back to the same things sometimes, but every once in a while you get bored and you think, well, I want to do something different. So I just go to YouTube and I Google it. I go to YouTube and I Google it. I go, I go to YouTube and I search belly bands, and a ton of stuff will come up from everybody, all kinds of different ideas, and so then I'll get some new ideas that way. There we go. That looks actually pretty good. All right, we'll do the long ones here. I hope everyone had a good 4th of July, nice and safe. We had some earthquake action. I don't live on the fault line, but east of us, out in the Mojave Desert, there was an earthquake. I think I want that to be that way. Anyway, so 4th of July there was an earthquake, and oh my goodness, way crooked. 4th of July there was an earthquake, and then on Friday there was one. And it was really weird. I was reading a book about Charlestown, South Carolina, and I had just finished a chapter where they were talking about an earthquake that was, I believe, 1698, something like that. And it wasn't even 20 minutes later. I'm sitting in my rocker and I started moving. And so I thought, I'm just imagining that. That is so weird. Maybe I'm just getting dizzy or something. Maybe I need to eat. Sure enough, it was just rolling for about 10 seconds. And I was like, okay, that was an earthquake. So I looked it up and it said it was, I want to say 6.6, and then they downgraded it to 6.4, whatever, and it was in Ridgecrest. So, I put this one on upside down, so it's going to want to curl on me. Anyway, and then I texted my husband and I said, did you feel the earthquake? And he's like, what earthquake? He never feels the earthquake. So he was at a facility. He's a hospice nurse. And I told him, I said, well, you were probably either driving or standing up. That's why you didn't feel it. If you were sitting down, then, you could feel it. And he said, no, I never feel them. So then the next day, he was here at the house when it happened. And I yelled at him I was in here in my office. And I said, honey, do you feel it this time? And he's like, feel what? And I said, why are you not feeling this? And the kids were like freaking, and I said, you sit down. So he sits down, and he's like, oh, I feel it. And, woohoo, I feel it, because he never can feel the earthquakes. This is so silly. Yesterday was the anniversary of our cruise to Alaska. The first day we got on the ship, I was like, I want to be back in Alaska. My parents and my brother and his wife just got back. They took the Queen Elizabeth to Alaska this year, and yeah, they had a good time. They took a 10-day cruise. Ours was 7 round trip from Seattle. Theirs was 10 from Vancouver. So anyway, all right. So there are my belly bands. Now I can just leave them the way they are, or I can and probably will add a little bling here and there, just because that's what I do. But those will be in my book. Let's see where I want these. And usually I use the belly bands to hold envelopes or some such. I don't want to put these in here right now, but because the glue will still seep onto the page, but I just wanted to show you. This will go here, and this will go here. and they'll be separated in the book because they're at the front and the back. And yeah, that very simple. What dresses it up more for me is what you put under them. I usually put an altered envelope or some journal cards and tags under there. But yeah, belly bands is one of my my go-tos that I think is very important, that I always include in my journals. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.